The Top 10. The African American Women. An Introduction. Short stories have always been a sort of instant access into an author's brain, their soul and heart. A few pages can lift our lives into locations, people and experiences with a sweep of landscape, narration, feelings and emotions that are difficult to achieve elsewhere. In this series, we try to offer up tried and trusted top tens across many different themes and authors. But any anthology will immediately throw up the questions: why that story? Why that author? The theme itself will form the boundaries for our stories, which range from well-known classics, newly told, to stories that modern times have overlooked, but perfectly exemplify the theme. Throughout the volume, our authors, whether of instant recognition or new to you, are all leviathans of literature. Some you may disagree with, but they will get you thinking about our choices and about those you would have made. If this volume takes you on a path to discover more of these miniature masterpieces, then we will have all gained something. Race and gender have denied many their rightful place in literary history. When we take time to look again, we find remarkable jewels of astonishing merit that reveal just how many talented stories have emerged from the pens of these very special women.
Two Offers by Frances Watkins Harper. What is the matter with you, Laura, this morning? I have been watching you this hour, and in that time you have commenced a half-dozen letters and torn them all up. What matter of such grave moment is puzzling your dear little head that you do not know how to decide? Well, it is an important matter. I have 2 offers for marriage, and I do not know which to choose. I should accept neither, or to say the least, not at present. Why not? Because I think a woman who's undecided between 2 offers has not love enough for either to make a choice, and in that very hesitation, indecision, she has a reason to pause and seriously reflect, lest her marriage, instead of being an affinity of souls or a union of hearts, should only be a mere matter of bargain and sale, or an affair of convenience and selfish interest. But I consider them both very good offers, just as many a girl would gladly receive. But to tell you the truth, I do not think that I regard either as a woman should the man she chooses for her husband. But then, if I refuse, there is the risk of being an old maid, and that is not to be thought of. Well, suppose there is. Is that the most dreadful fate that can befall a woman? Is there not more intense wretchedness in an ill-assorted marriage? More utter loneliness in a loveless home than in the lot of the old maid who accepts her earthly mission as a gift from God and strives to walk the path of life with earnest and unfaltering steps? Oh, what a little preacher you are! I really believe that you were cut out for an old maid, that when nature formed you, she put in a double portion of intellect to make up for a deficiency of love. And yet you are kind and affectionate. But I do not think that you know anything of the grand overmastering passion, or the deep necessity of a woman's heart for loving. Do you think so? Resumed the first speaker, and bending over her work, she quietly applied herself to the knitting that had lain neglected by her side during this brief conversation. But as she did so, a shadow flitted over her pale and intellectual brow, a mist gathered in her eyes, and a slight quivering of the lips revealed a depth of feeling to which her companion was a stranger. But before I proceed with my story, let me give you a slight history of the speakers. They were cousins, who had met life under different auspices. Laura LaGrange was the only daughter of rich and indulgent parents, who had spared no pains to make her an accomplished lady. Her cousin, Jeanette Alston, was the child of parents rich only in goodness and affection. Her father had been unfortunate in business, and dying before he could retrieve his fortunes, left his business in an embarrassed state.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?